So here's our lab environment again, and you can see that I've added some complexity to it by adding some interface identifiers and some IP addresses. Let's go ahead and simplify it just a little bit by taking away the components that we're not going to be dealing with within this particular example. Now, you've noticed that I'm dealing with only two routers, the 2800 router and two 3800 routers. And the first thing that you notice is the way that the interfaces are labeled. On the 2800 router, I have two fast Ethernet ports. One is connected, and therefore the interfaces are labeled F0/0 for fast Ethernet 00, S0/0/0, and S0/1/0 for serial 0 and serial 1 respectively. On serial 0, I have an IP address which has already been configured to 172.16.150.2, using them as you can see at the bottom of the screen. This interface right now has already been told to come up with a no shutdown command. On the other hand, the 3800 router, which is not currently configured, you can see that it has multiple slots. It has a 0 slot and a 1 slot. The gigabit Ethernet, the G, is always on the 0 slot on the 3800. So I have a gigabit Ethernet 0/0, which is actually the interface number, and gigabit Ethernet 0/1, which is the second interface. I also have my serial 000 as what makes the connection over serial HDLC to the 2800 router. It may seem all confusing, but basically what it is I've got a serial interface on this router and a serial interface on this router, which are connected with the cable, and that cable is currently running Cisco defaults for all serial connections, which is HDLC. What our test here is going to be is to bring up this interface right here and watch what happens when I actually change my frame type from the default to something else, and you can see how this interface responds. This yields itself a very good troubleshooting mechanism. Let's go ahead and go to the lab by accessing the 3800 router.